Hello everyone, I'm Bill Connors with the aphasiatoolbox.com October 2016 newsletter. This video will discuss treating and helping clients practice improving their syntax, their ability to create sentences, to use verbs in various tenses and forms, and so on. We really derive this from the early work by Chomsky in derivational linguistic theory, and we also have spun it off of some of the work done, for example, in the Tough program, treating underlying forms, mapping theory, and even the VNest verb network strengthening clinical research. In this case, we're going to work with our clients in our mindful neuroplastic aphasia recovery program. So we may start by having the client produce a simple sentence such as, "I cook food." I would look at the client, they'd say it, they'd put it in their memory loop, and then they may say, "I cook food." I may or may not type this based on the client's individual needs. So, I cook food. And I'd look at the client and I would say, "What do you do with food?" They'd look at me and mindfully respond after hearing that sentence in their head, "I cook food." In this case, first I'm going to do a verb switch. So I may say, "That's great. Now, instead of cook, I'd like you to insert the verb eat." So when you're ready and you can hear that whole sentence mentally in your head, and you can assemble it as a syllabary in terms of the sounds and syllable structure, go ahead and say it. So the client's going to look at me with a mindful assembly pause and then say, "I eat food." And again, you're going to work with them based on their ability to be able to do that eventually. I will then take that to a conversational dyad, so we're working at the bottom line of conversation, and say, "What do you do with food?" And their response should be, after a mindful pause, "I eat food." So from here, of course, you can begin to scaffold this by adding a greater variety of verbs, perhaps less frequent verbs, maybe increasing the syllables, "I prepare food," and so on. Sometimes we will go through and work on conjugation. Instead of I'd like you to say "you." And again, the client's going to assemble that. "You eat food." Now, in terms of the expansion, this is where we can begin to, and of course you can cover this up so the client's going to be working from memory. Now, we can begin to expand that with the client by saying, "Bob, I'd like you to say that again, but start with yesterday." So the client's got to remember that sentence, working from their memory, having faith in their memory. We talk about our mindful neuroplastic mantra being know, plan, do, and process. Pay attention so you remember that for the next time. Client's going to say, "Yesterday, I cook food." Perhaps they will need to work on their morphology, that ED. However, that they did the assignment, they added yesterday, they weren't wrong. Okay, so maybe you work with that a little bit, talk about it. You might at that point say, dinner. That client could add something to the end. With friends. Yesterday, I cooked dinner with friends. So you're beginning to gradually expand this. So this can expand from the middle out. You can right branch some time concepts. Earlier today, next week. You can tag prepositional phrases to the end. You can even insert phrasal verbs, such as "I work with food," and so on. So that's one way we use our sentence expansion program with our clients, and it certainly has a lot of potential to scaffold, make it individualized, and always take it to that bottom line conversational dyad.